let's go. In this video, I want to talk about drop shipping and live shopping. Two of the biggest things that are going to happen in the e-commerce space. When it comes to e-commerce here in Africa, most people, I've noticed, they're trying to use the American model of e-com, which is they build a website, maybe using Shopify, look for vendors, slap their vendors' products on the Shopify store, and then start running some ads on Instagram, maybe on Google, and then hope and pray that somebody's going to make a purchase. That method works still. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does. Because it's been working since I first heard about drop shipping 10 years ago. In fact, let me add, 10 years ago, I tried to get into the drop shipping game. And during that time, I was trying to drop ship, furniture. That's it. I was trying to drop ship furniture. And something else. I forgot what else I was trying. Podiums. Yes. Podiums for church. You know those podiums where people, when you go to church, okay, those podiums where the pastor stands and puts his Bible. I was trying to drop ship that and furniture. The method that I was using to do that drop shipping was setting up a Shopify store. Shopify is a software that allows for you to build a website, and then you can list items on that website. And then when people go to that website, they can pick whatever they want and make a purchase. That was the method that I was using. But I think in 2025, going into 2026, that is no longer the most efficient method or the most efficient process of going about this drop shipping thing. Besides, when you're trying to do that kind of drop shipping concept here in Africa, it's not going to work like that because most people do not have credit cards. They don't purchase stuff online like that. They got to trust you. For them to purchase something, they got to trust you. What does this mean? It means that in order for you to do drop shipping here in Africa, you got to be very creative. So let me, what you're looking at right now, I was about to say, let me show you. What you're looking at right now is a vendor over there in China that's pretty much advertising that they have a factory and do you want to be an agent or a distributor? So they're going out of their way to advertise to people like me and you who has a little bit of cash and saying, hey, listen, we're open for business. You can deal with us. Back in the day when I was doing drop shipping, there weren't too many vendors who were advertising themselves like this one, promoting themselves on social media and saying that they want to do business with us. They can do business with everybody. In order for you to get a distributor like this one 10 years ago, you had to go to China. You had to fly all the way to China. And then hope and pray you don't get scammed as you're looking around in different cities and whatnot. But now it's so easy. They're putting everything online. And the reason why they're putting everything online is because their biggest market, the most profitable market, which is the United States, is imposed tariffs on China. Since they've imposed tariffs on China, it means that a lot of businesses that are based in the United States that were relying on these distributors and these, and these factories, they couldn't import, they were affected. Their bottom line was affected. And the bottom line is still affected right now because there's too much uncertainty. So the Chinese, the factories, they had to look for new sources of income. That's why they're doing this. Maybe there's somebody over there in Dubai that wants to start selling this type of furniture to people over there in Dubai. So he's going to hit them up. He's going to send them a message and say, hey, listen, I'm in Dubai over here. How many can you ship? Then these guys will be like, okay, we can ship you 20 of them. All right, no problem. How much? All right, it's 20 grand. No problem. I'll wire you the 20 grand. And they wire it. Sure enough, the couches get delivered to their store over there in Dubai. It's so much easier now. So much easier. In Africa, you can still do that. The strategy is not to do it the same way that everybody else has been doing, like the way the Americans have been doing it for a long time. Because for the most part, in an economy like the United States, most people have access to credit cards and debit cards, so they can make their purchases online. But it's not the case in African countries. In African countries, most people will pay through M-Pesa, mobile money, especially here in East Africa. If you go to Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, it's all mobile money, M-Pesas. That's how most people prefer to trade. There are some wealthier people, the wealthy class, that will use their debit cards or credit cards or whatever, but they aren't that very many. There aren't that many. Now, if you are to get into the dropshipping, if you think this is a great idea, the strategy to use is to do what is called live shopping. This is live shopping right here. Essentially, instead of you opening up a store, even a physical location store in, say, whatever city that you want to start operating in. Let's say you want to start operating in what's a good city? Ooh, Francistown. Yes, Francistown. By the way, I love Francistown. Francistown is in Botswana. Francistown is the second largest city in Botswana, and I've been to Francistown a long time ago. Let's say you want to start operating in Francistown and you want to open up you want to start selling that furniture that I showed you. Maybe instead of you renting out a whole physical location store, paying rent and all this stuff, and ordering that inventory so it can sit there, maybe fly over there to China, and then you're doing live shopping where you're demonstrating the quality of the product in the warehouse, in the Chinese warehouse. And you're becoming like an online personality over there. So let's say, for example, you are able to get a visa. Let me go back to Instagram because we've done live shopping. All right. So let's say you're able to get a 3 to 6 month visa in China because the Chinese want you there so you can hustle. Get yourself a 3 to 6 month visa in China. You live on the cheap. Then you contact these distributors over here and you tell them, hey, can I come and hang out in your facilities and shoot some content there for 3 months straight? They've already got good lighting already, as you can see. You set up your tripod and your phone, and all you're doing is you're going live on socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those 3 platforms. You're just going live. Every single day you're going live. And you're demonstrating, this is what we got. We got some beautiful couches over here in China. The reason why these guys cannot do that is because they're not from that market. They don't know how that market works. But you do. You're from Botswana. You know your market very well. So people will be able to relate. The Botswana people will be able to relate to you. Because you're their fellow people. So you can build a whole personality around that. Within 3 to 6 months, even by 6th month of doing that same strategy where you're going live every single day, living on a cheap over there in China. It doesn't cost very much, by the way, that strategy that I just mentioned. What will cost a lot of money is actually ordering these things and letting them sit over there in Francistown in a warehouse and hope and pray that people are going to come and buy them. As you're doing these sales on a live TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, You're collecting orders, pre-orders. Once you collect those pre-orders, you're not collecting those pre-orders on the live. You are directing those people to go make a payment at a physical location business, that you've already set up before you went to China. So you're collecting payments in Africa, meanwhile you're selling while you are in China on a live. That's the new game. So let's say, for example, you get in the malls, in most malls in Africa, they kind of look like Western malls. They will have the stores, and then in the middle of the sort of hallway, right, there'll be like a little vendor, maybe that sells little gadgets, earphones, headphones, and everything. You set up your payment collection for that furniture in there, right in the middle of the mall. So when you're selling on the live, you're directing people to go make their payments at that little booth, and everybody knows exactly where it's at. Your physical location is right there in the most popular mall, and you set up everything legit. They'll be more comfortable going to make that payment at that little booth than collecting money on a live. So every day, let's say if you do a sale, every day at the end of the live, you hit up your people over there on the ground in Francistown. You ask them, hey, has anybody come through for a sale? When you are selling, you're directing people to a hotline. Tell them, call me on this hotline so I can reserve this for you. So I can reserve this unit for you. I only got 10 of them. This is what I told you guys. The number one skill you need to learn is sales. How to do sales. Once you know how to sell, you're good to go anywhere in the world. When you work with me, I'll teach you how to do all of that, how to sell, how to make sure you're able to make those sales and to build the whole system. So back to the strategy. You're doing a live over there in China, selling limited edition 10 units, 10 couches. Call this number to reserve your order. And once that person calls that number, they reserve the order. They have 24 hours or 48 hours to make the payment at the booth in the mall. If they don't make that payment at the booth at the mall, then they lose the order. Then that order gets passed on to somebody else until you sell the 10. So you're not holding on to inventory. That's the whole point of dropshipping. You're not holding on to expensive inventory. And you're capturing the audience attention on the mobile device, something that your competition cannot do. Your competition cannot do that. Whoever is selling furniture in your city of Francistown, Gaborone, they call it Joburg, Harare, Zimbabwe, Nairobi, Kenya, Dar es Salaam, they can't compete. The physical, furniture stores, they can't compete with that. How? Because they have to pay workers, a lot of them. They got to spend thousands of dollars on overheads, rent. And you're going in on live every day, applying pressure. And you're not holding inventory. Your overheads are just you being in China for 3 months straight and going live every day, selling, grinding. That's the next level drop shipping here in Africa, and it will work. How do I know this will work? Simple. I was trying to look for this lady. She's a Tanzanian lady. She's the one that put me on this game, because I've literally watched this lady go from, budget living to next level. Now she goes to these fancy spas over there in China. Maybe I can find one. Now she goes to these fancy spas over there in China. And she just flexes on people, man. She just flexes on people. I can't find it, but oh, maybe this is her. Yes, this is her. Perfect. Oh, this is amazing. This is her. I learned this game from this lady right here. If you guys are ready to learn the game, go follow this lady right here. Go follow her. I've been watching this lady for months, for years actually, 2 years now. See all this furniture here? She's the plug. Let me show you this one. This is exactly what I'm talking about. With this one, she goes to Turkey. Look at this furniture right here. She goes to Turkey and she gets on Instagram Live, TikTok Live every single day promoting all this furniture that she's not holding yet. And she's telling people she's the plug and she's got a distribution license with the producer of this furniture over there in Turkey. See, all she's doing is she's just showing, look at how pretty this is, and she's got a personality about her. As soon as I started watching her stuff, I was like, oh, I like her. I like the way she thinks. That's a true hustler right there. That's the hustler spirit. She didn't start off with a lot of money. Do you think she started off with a lot of money? Now she flies first class to Istanbul, Turkey. And see, even she got a camera guy. And now she's opened up her own shop over here in Dar es Salaam, and it's all drop shipping. This is the new level of drop shipping, guys. If you want to get into the game, online game, where you're selling stuff online, go for the high-end market, preferably the high-end market, because here in Africa, the Chinese have already captured the low end of the market. If you want to sell things like phone holders, phone cases, earphones, headphones, the Chinese already got that locked in. It's hard to compete with them like that. Not only is it hard to compete with them when you're selling the basics like electronics and stuff like that, it is difficult because the other people that are already doing business in this market, the other competition that you'll be facing, they're already buying at wholesale from the Chinese and setting up their own stores, holding thousands of dollars of inventory. When you get into drop shipping, this is what I learned 10 years ago, guys. The experience that I have with drop shipping. When you are selling online, focus on high-end stuff. This furniture right here, I know from experience because I've been to a bunch of furniture stores here in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam. This could run you 10 grand, 10, 15,000 USD. And yes, there are people that are willing to pay 10 to 15,000 US dollars. People are not broke out here. People got money. Just because you've seen certain things on TV does not mean Africans don't have money. They got money. And they like to flex on each other with the latest and greatest. If somebody builds $1 million mansion, and I've done a bunch of videos on this rich neighborhood, Kombweni, by the way. That's just an example. There's a bunch of other rich neighborhoods. Masaki is one here. In Nairobi, Kenya, there are a bunch of rich neighborhoods with tigers and all this stuff. And there are even other richer neighborhoods, brand new, where people are building these mansions. They got to furnish those mansions. They need furniture. They need it. They need that furniture. And they need that furniture, especially if somebody builds their mansion for $1 million, right? Are you telling me that they can't afford 15 grand on something like this? Of course they can. They just blew $1 million on a mansion. They need to make sure that mansion matches. The furniture in that mansion matches. Because people here like to judge each other. It's a very competitive market. People are very competitive. Not just here in Tanzania, but in Africa, in general, in the world in general, people are very competitive. Everybody wants to be unique. So getting into dropshipping furniture is an excellent idea. Your overheads, your startup costs are not crazy. 3 to 6 month visa over there in China, live cheap. You're grinding. You're going to be like this lady. You're going to take off. Like I said, she's flying first class now. And I've been observing her for 2 years. She goes to the fancy spas. Let me see if she's got a video of her going to a fancy spa. Yeah, she's living good, man. I am very proud of this lady. Let me show you one. See, she's selling dining, and it's all next level stuff. It's really good. And she offers free delivery, and to even improve her reputation, she will show videos on her Instagram of her actually delivering what she sold to the customer. It's just a whole experience, and people love her. When she delivers, people are like, yay! You know what I'm saying? She gets, she's got that vibe. And you see, she puts her phone number right there. Let me see, so you can see how good she's living. 'Cause sometimes you need to see. This lady inspires me a lot, man. Where's the spa? Is it this one? No, it's not it. But we're just skimming through it. I mean, she's even doing everything. Carpets. When I need anything, I'm reaching out to her. My wife needs a new dining table. I'm hitting her up. Hey, listen, my wife needs a new dining table. These are some of the mansions here in Dar es Salaam. Is it going to show? Maybe not. Oh, there you go. See, she's going to deliver at this mansion. That's the kind of money we're talking about right here. Some of you guys, you think there's no money in Africa. There's plenty of money. Plenty of it. Where's the video of her in the spa? You guys got to see this. You need to be inspired. Some of you guys need to wake up that the game is not the same anymore. The game has completely changed. I can't find the video, man. She's got a personality about her that is, that makes you want to buy from her. But you get the picture. I mean, I can't find the video where she's in a spa and everything. I wanted you guys to see it. Where she's leveled up. Go through some of her posts. She's got 12,500 plus posts. So go through some of her old stuff so you can see her leveling up. Now she got 304,000 followers. She's a boss now in just 2 years. I didn't know her 2 years ago. As soon as I saw what she was doing, dropshipping, showcasing furniture from China, from Turkey. Because initially, for where I'm staying, I was looking to buy furniture from Turkey anyway. And she came up. She was recommended in my feed because I was looking at, furniture in Turkey. I was like, maybe I should go to Turkey. Because of her, I didn't have to. And that's a lot of rich people that got money here would also say, I'd rather deal with her than, spend the time and money to go to Turkey. I'm not saying the rich people are not going to go to Turkey. They will. But I'm just saying there's a market in drop shipping furniture at the highest level. If you're interested in working with the best and becoming like a boss, like this lady right here, that I have high respect for, schedule time. I'll show you how to put the systems in place the right way for your country, show you exactly how to market it for your city, whatever it is. Most importantly, setting things up on the ground if you need the help. Because there's certain things you got to put in place so you can completely dominate the market. Because the African market is not that difficult to dominate. If you come up with a unique idea, like this one, or unique concept, it's very easy to dominate. Because people don't want to do this. Meanwhile, you should be visible on this thing, or else you don't exist. But people don't want to do this. I've been to countless physical retail locations here in Africa, where I knew the product was good, everything they were doing, makes sense to sell, but they didn't have a social media presence. They didn't have an online presence at all. So they're sleeping on money, just sitting on inventory. That's going to be like played out in 2 years or a year from now. But with this drop shipping, every time there's something new, a new, product or whatever, the latest and greatest, you're at the source, you're the plug, and you can showcase it. So your customers will get, exclusives from you of the latest and greatest. What tends to happen also in this market of Africa is that once somebody starts selling, let's say, this style of headphones or a particular type of chair or desk, for example, office desk, then everybody's going to sell the same thing, flood the market. That's how you get ahead of the competition. Because while they're getting held back by holding stock, you're not dealing with that. Once that product is out of season, you will level up to the new product immediately. Something that your competition cannot do. This is just some free game I'm giving you. If you're ready for more game, schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. This will be a paid consultation. This means that you're ready to start a business, ready to start drop shipping here in Africa, and you need help to make sure you get to the level. Let's talk. Schedule time. Talk to you soon. Bless up.